everyone, welcome back. This is Breaking Brian, back with The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 2. So, alright, guys, I'm gonna say it. This was a great episode. Probably the best out of the entire series for HBO The Last of Us. I mean, honestly, this might be like a 9.5 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10. Like, this was a fantastic episode. I really enjoyed it. It's one of the few times they actually improved from the game. So, yeah, let's get into it. So moving on, we got the really good intro, with the Naughty Dog with the guitar going in the background. Obviously, you guys know it. You know how it goes. The Last of Us, intro and everything, and then we get a alarm going off. And to be fair, when I heard this, I immediately thought of the movie Rio, where Blue was going ew, 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 like that with the car alarm. But no, it turns out it was the alarm when Joel attacked the Fireflies, years ago. And we see Abby here. She is in the hallway with a gun, looking around, and then she just so happens to see her older self, darker, colder self, just being like, "Oh, don't go in that room," And she's just like, "You shouldn't go in there because Dad's dead. You can see his blood. You can see his brains everywhere on the floor. Blah blah." And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that I'm not saying HBO ripped off of me, since I came up with a similar thing in The Walking Dead Extinction. But come on, Abby talking to a hallucination of herself. I mean, come on, like, it's kind of like, are you serious? I'm kidding, I'm having fun. But yeah, anyways, Abby wakes up, and just absolutely shocked, because she gets up, and then she goes to her boyfriend Owen, and she's probably like, "Owen, I had a totally weird dream. We were in the lodge, and like, I was buff and stuff. It was a horrible nightmare." And Owen's like, "Oh, thank God it's not the case. I could never be with a buff chick like that. I could never, like, I would never do that." Yeah. So, anyways, moving on. Owen shows Abby the town and everything, and Owen kind of mentions how he saw Jacksonville, and that he's a little bit concerned because how are they supposed to kill Joel? You know what I mean? How are they supposed to kill Joel sneaking into, attacking the town, whatever? They thought it was just be some kind of tents. Not to mention there's kind of a lot of snow right now, the blizzard. It's just a whole lot of problems. Even Manny sees it, which it doesn't really make sense, because I thought Abby saw the town last episode at night, but yeah, I don't know. But anyway, Owen kind of mentions to Abby he's got a plan, and I'm kind of interested. I'm like, "Oh, interesting, Owen, what's your plan?" Because I don't think you had one. And then we see Nora, which, by the way, it's super freezing, and Nora shaved her head. I just want to point that out. Like, not the brightest idea. But yeah, they mentioned the guards, the dogs. I love how they mentioned the dogs. It was so good. It's like they have dogs, guards, electricity, they have guns, they have people, they have routes, they have radios. How the heck are we supposed to do this? It's like a needle in a haystack, and Abby's just like, "Ugh, we need to find a way, maybe threaten, take a patrol." Here's one thing I don't understand. Why has no one thought of the possibility of, hey, what if we just recruit ourselves in the town? What if we lie and say we're strays, we need a home, and just live in the town of Jacksonville, and then just assimilate into the town until they find Joel? Like, I don't understand why no one suggested that. But Owen kind of mentions he has a plan, and Abby's like, "Okay, I'm gonna take watch. Tell the others your plan and this and that, kind of thing." Which, yeah, I mean, I was kind of intrigued. I'm like, huh, what is Owen's plan? Because he didn't really have one in the actual game. So, anyways, Abby is on watch, and she is freezing her skin off. She's super cold, which is kind of crazy because it doesn't look super super cold, but yeah, I don't know. Anyways, moving on. It is still raining and stuff, and back in the cabin, Manny and Owen are talking, and he kind of mentions, what's your plan? And he mentions the plan is to actually go back. His plan is they have no plan, because it's just not possible. Like, he mentions, no, we need to get back to Seattle, to the WLF, the FOB, all that stuff. We're not going to die for this. And meanwhile, you have Ellie sleeping, and she gets a knock, and it turns out that it is Jesse who wakes her up. And we get this, it's time for, I mean, they're early for Ellie's patrol and all that. And I'm sorry, I gotta ask, like, do people, like, in The Last of Us, imagine, like, being forced to wake up for a patrol? Like, how bad does your breath smell? But I don't know. So Ellie kind of just spills the beans that, her and Dina had a kiss last night and all that. And, Jesse, just like in the game, pretends to act all like, "Wow, I'm really hurt, Jesse. You're my friend, and you kissed my ex," like this and that. It's like, yeah, whatever. So we see that the town is gearing up. It turns out that Tommy and Maria are getting the town ready. They have barrels out, they have people working, they have guns, and he kind of mentions all the stuff happening. He mentions that Tommy is a little bit on edge, so are the other people, because it turns out they were dirty affected, buried in the snow. in the mountains at one point. So they're taking extra precautions, all that. It's the first day of the new year in 2029, 25 years in the outbreak. And, yeah, it's honestly just kind of crazy and kind of impressive. Anyway, yeah, he even mentions to Ellie about the whole stalker that attacked her last episode. And then Ellie says a line that makes me question her gender very much. So, yeah, there's that. But yeah, I guess Jesse doesn't believe her about the stalker, but it does have Tommy on. Tommy has alerted the town just to be ready, just in case. Which was a good call. Getting the town ready for a possible attack of the infected was such a good call, because good lord. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. He asks about her and Joel, the whole fight they had last night, where she yelled at him in front of everyone in the town for New Year's, and she kind of mentions how, hey, Joel and I have our stuff. It's complicated, but we're sorting it out. It's like, okay, like, wow, Ellie, you are a 19-year-old. Like, so anyway, they go to the restaurant and Tommy is having a meeting. He's telling everyone about that they need to be ready in case and prepare for the worst. Which is really cool. Tommy has a lot of charisma. He's not like Joel. He does speeches and stuff. He's definitely more of a people person. And he's a family man, so it does make sense. Lots of these people have their families, and you have this little cute kid. Yeah, so I like how this town. I love Jacksonville. It feels like a real community. Even though we don't really know a lot of these people names, like I do love how they feel like real people just trying to live their lives with their families as best they can in the end of the world. And we have Benji here, is once again he's way too old to be a 4-year-old. But yeah, anyways, moving on. You basically have it where like yeah, they're gonna like prepare just in case of an attack, but still carry on their days. They're gonna be together. They're gonna fight this, whatever it is. And I like this. Tommy definitely has a bigger role in the show than he ever did in the games. Anyways, so moving on, they go to the restaurant part, and eventually, just like in the game, you have Maria and getting Ellie to talk to Seth because of what he called her and Dina last night. The slur he called them and all stuff after Dina kissed her, and he apologizes, gives them some beef sandwiches and all that, which I don't know how he's putting them in one package, but I don't know, whatever. So yeah, Maria gives them to Jesse, and Jesse takes them, and yeah, Ellie doesn't really accept his apology, but she doesn't really say anything back hurtful to him, and it's like, yeah, I guess that's it. Like, I mean, to be fair, this was just like the game, so it was fine, nothing big. Anyways, Ellie and Jesse are going out, and she's already mentioning how it's like really cold and all that. But, and they're on patrol. They have to get Joel. He already went with Dina earlier, and then meanwhile we have Abby, who is good lord. Once again, she is freezing her character off because good lord, like she is going to die at this rate, which is just kind of crazy. Like. And then all of a sudden she begins to hear something and spot something. And when I saw this, I was kind of shocked because I thought this was clever because I thought it was Ellie and Jess that she was seeing because they just left the town. But no, it turns out it was Tommy, and we don't know this though. They didn't make it clear to us. This was Tommy, not Tommy. This was Joel and Dina, not Ellie and Jesse, which is great. That is great misdirect. I like that. That was really well done. I must admit. So, anyways, back in the town, we have these guys using some pulley systems, and I wasn't really sure what they were doing, But it turns out they're bringing barrels up above the walls, and this is cool, man. I really enjoy this. I really like this. I like these preparations that they're doing. This community feels real. It feels like there are non-incompetent people. They're getting all the ammo ready. They're putting boxes, barricades, all this stuff, man. Tommy had a really good instinct here with getting everyone ready because, yeah, Tommy is trying to get in contact with Joel, with Dina, with Ellie and Jesse, because the blizzard has gotten worse recently. Like, it didn't take long before it got worse. And he tells some woman to go get Amy in the radio room because they need to get Joel and bring all the patrols back. The blizzard is just not a good idea. It's not safe. Yeah, so anyways, we have Jesse and Ellie. They are freezing, and they hear from Amy to head back, head back. They also had a name. I forgot what their code name is on the radio, but anyways, Amy tells him to head back, but he's just like we can't head back. We're too far out. The blizzard. So they head in some random place, and I kind of like this. And they have a place for the horses so they don't freeze to death. And I love how he mentions, the horses will be fine if they eat. There's some hay. Jesse gives the horses some hay, and then him and Ellie they need to go find Joel and Dina. That's what they're gonna, go do. Well, I mean, not yet, but they're gonna hold up somewhere else. And yeah, I like the shot where you see the horses actually eating hay. Like that's so funny. I like it when The Last of Us does things like this. It's really funny, because animals are a big part of the universe. And anyways, they hold up in, like, I think, what is it? Some kind of weird 7-Eleven place. I don't know, but they hold up, and it turns out that this is the place where Eugene used to be, just like from the game where he used to grow weed or whatever, but it's all old, it's all like bad and stuff. And apparently, him and Eugene used to kind of hang out here, all this stuff, which, I mean, okay, like, seriously, I gotta ask, is there seriously, what is it with Wyoming and weed? Like, what is the weed obsession with Neil Druckmann and the Naughty Dog writers and developers, HBO? Like, what is the weed obsession? I don't get it. But yeah, Ellie finds a Firefly, dog tag, and she asks about Eugene and stuff, and then Jesse mentions how Eugene put the Fireflies back in 2010. Joel killed him. He got infected, all that stuff. So I'm still really confused what happened with Eugene and Joel, all that stuff. I really wish they do explain some of it. Because he was married to Gail, but they still didn't explain enough. It's still kind of confusing. Anyways, moving on, we have Abby. She is trying to catch up with Joel and Dina, but she doesn't know it was them, kind of thing. And she is kind of stuck because she needs to go down this kind of mountain, this steep side, and she doesn't really have the best idea, because as she's doing that, she gets kind of reckless, and she falls. She falls all the way down, and I'll admit, ouch, because she lands, she flips on the snow a bunch of times, and I think she even loses her rifle. Her rifle was on her back, so she must have landed on that a couple times. Like, that must have hurt the back. That probably was not super pleasant. Yeah, so unlike in the game, Abby is not superhuman. She lands pretty hard, is kind of winded from the fall. And I didn't catch this at first, but yeah, she landed in a clearing with a bunch of bodies, with a bunch of infected. And I'll admit, this was very creepy. And I like this. I like this ingenuity. I like this. This is great foreshadowing, because Jesse mentions how, hey, I heard from a report that a whole bunch of people almost died about, buried zombies, and Abby's looking around, creepy, scared, like, what the heck, a bunch of zombies, like, what's going on here? You even have some buried clickers, but then they start moving. Very creepy, I will admit. And yeah, I mean, this is great foreshadowing, because it wasn't Jesse and Ellie that came across these zombies. It was Abby. And yeah, this is great foreshadowing, because you have characters talk about a scene or part of their universe, and then another character experiences it. That's realistic. So unfortunately, Abby awakens all the sleeping zombies, all that stuff. I'm not sure how the fungus works, because doesn't cold kill fungus? I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah, I'm really not sure how that works. Like, how is the cordyceps virus still active like this? And this reminded me so much of Game of Thrones with the White Walkers, but I mean, it's so good. Like, we wanted more infected after season 1, and good lord, we're getting it. This was great. The zombies, they're super fast. Abby is running like there's no tomorrow, which is realistic. I like it. Even her running, like, is so, like, desperate, but also like, it's also realistic. It's not like, some charismatic soldier. It's like how a woman would run, and it's like, yeah, I like that. That's realistic. I gotta admit, I just really liked it. So Abby is running, her head off, and she comes across this barricaded area, with barbed wire, but she jumps on the ladder, which was, man, yeah, nice jump, Abby. Like, I'll admit that was pretty impressive. And you have her climbing up. A zombie almost gets her, but she kicks it off, and then she goes on the other way onto the roof of the place, or I mean, not roof, but like on the other side. So yeah, anyways, Abby is going through the fence area, all that stuff, and we get exactly like the game. Abby is going through a fence, and it's very claustrophobic. Also in the game, Abby was she had when you have a fear of heights, what's it called? Not whatever, the phobia for heights. I think I can't place it, but yeah. Instead, it seems like maybe Abby might be more claustrophobic in this universe, which I like. And yeah, I've kind of felt claustrophobic because she was going through the fence, and the zombies go around the building. They're pressing against the fence, they're crushing it, they're breaking the hinges off the ground, all that stuff. And the fence room is getting less and less for Abby, so she is crawling, she's going crazy, all that stuff, and she is almost getting crushed under the fence of the infected, which is so cool. That is realistic. I really like it. Abby gets tackled. She managed to get out, but she gets tackled by one, and it's about to kill her until some random gun shows up, killing the zombie. And yeah, I mean, just like the game, this was cool. The ringing sound effect, that was awesome. The hand in front of her face, she takes it, and then we see that it's Joel, and she doesn't even register it's Joel just because she was so scared and she's not sure what's going on right now. Like, she's very disoriented, which is just it's great. Like this episode was very well directed. It was well acted, well made, like fantastic. So Joel and Abby, they run into a building, and Joel locks the door. Abby is trying to calm down because like that was close, and then she begins hearing Dina saying Joel's twice, which yeah, that's really cool. I like that. So she slowly starts realizing it, but she's still in a panic mode, so she doesn't 100% realize it. And Joel kind of comes to her and talks to her about, are you bit? You have a gun, all this stuff, like which was really cool. It's like the game. Also, another change was in the game, it was Tommy and Joel that came across Abby, but in this, it is Dina and Abby, which is kind of interesting. So she kind of mentions how, she's not alone. She does have friends up in the lodge. So I don't know. She's probably still thinking, like, is this really Joel? The zombies are breaking through the hinges, so they have to get on the horses and leave as soon as possible. Meanwhile, we have Amy, the girl, on the radio, and she is trying to. I like this. She said, copper something, copper unit, copper team, for Joel and Dina. Their code name or something like that, which I think is kind of cool. It's like I like how patrols have their own code names to go by, just so that no one listening knows, who's in it. To protect identities, all that stuff, which is kind of cool. I think it's a little unnecessary in a zombie apocalypse, but yeah. Oh yeah, right. She said copper mine. Anyways, yeah. So Tommy tells her to keep trying every 10 seconds. And meanwhile, we at the 7-Eleven place, we have Ellie comes across the bong gas mask that Jesse made, and she mentions that you're going to be in charge of Jacksonville, which doesn't really make sense. It's a council, and also wouldn't his son be in charge? Like, but also like I don't know. Have we seen Jesse's parents? Like, I don't know. I kind of hope we do, because like I'm kind of curious on his backstory more. Like, yeah. So yeah, he hears Amy, and Amy kind of mentions that Joel and Dina are kind of missing. So yeah, they have to find them. Meanwhile, we have people working in the town, and this guy pulls up the cracked roots. So he pulls out some nasty old wood, roots, all that stuff that have grown in the pipes, and he starts noticing it's the cordyceps virus that it's mutating. It's like, ugh, so nasty, and all that stuff, which is kind of crazy. So meanwhile, anyways, after that, Jess and Ellie decide to split off. They're going off the highway. They're splitting up to look for Joel and Dina, and to let the other know, which is really cool. The blizzard, and then meanwhile we have Joel, Dina, and Abby with the two horses still running for the lives from the herd. This is fantastic, man. This is so great. The zombies look fantastic. It's creepy. They're like, Joel, we have to go faster, and it's like, I'm trying. The horses, man, they're carrying the backs of them. It's like, gosh, it reminds me so much of Game of Thrones. It's insane, like with the White Walkers, all that stuff. It's very well done. 100%. So meanwhile, back in Jacksonville, we have some guy looking through binoculars, keeping an eye out for any of the patrols coming back. And then he sees a huge sight. He sees like literally hundreds of zombies running towards them. And he tells everyone to ring the bell, on alert, all that stuff. And they're like, hey, is it raiders, infected? And they're like, no, it's infected. And they have to get ready. So they're ringing the bell, and Tommy gets a megaphone. Maria even tells some people to go with her to the roofs, and yeah, like it is going down. Like, I love this alert system they have, and you guys are gonna hear me praise this like crazy. But yeah, Tommy's on a megaphone and on a horse, just screaming for everyone to get into the basements and the roofs. Hunker down in the shelters, like he mentioned earlier that day in the meeting. Like, take all the elderly, children, women that can't fight. And I like this. We see a random woman, her little boy, going inside to head into one of the shelters. And like this, we see another group I'm assuming this is one of the shelters. This is no way this is the entire shelter for the entire community. But yeah, we even see a guy here. A kid goes in, a guy with a baby. I'm not sure why the guy's going in though. That I don't know. That seems kind of weird. He seems like he can fight. But anyway, we have more kids, more women, and some more babies. Like I think I saw like 3 babies maybe, and it's like this is just one section. And I'm like, man, oh my goodness. When I saw this, I'm just like, oh please God, let nothing happen to these people. I can't. Yeah, like when it comes to zombie apocalypse stories and stories in general, it's like, yeah, if the soldiers are out there fighting, like please, not let nothing happen to the, the children and stuff. Like I'm a big person in that. So, anyways, they're lowering these weird metallic things. Like, I mean, like I thought these were spikes or something, but I was wrong. So it's kind of cool, man. Like all these guys, man, they're getting guns, they're getting jackets. People are fighting, men, women. They're getting flamethrowers, they're getting guns, all this stuff. Everyone is fighting more or less, except for children and stuff. Even Seth, I believe that's Seth. Even he is fighting, and they're getting flamethrowers. They're just getting ready, man. Like it is fantastic. It is chaos. You know, some people are really scared. Some are more. They've been preparing for this for 25 years. The zombies are still coming. I believe they said they had like just 5 minutes before they literally came, which is kind of crazy. And also, not only that, but in one of the cellars, we see one guy block it with a wood. As he locks it, blocks it with a wood, then blocks it with a second one, and it's like, oh man, like they really thought this through, and I love it. It's fantastic. I'm like, please God, don't let him break through. And then we have some guy using some weird motor thing. And they block the door, they block the gates with tons of stuff, and the tractors and like heavy boxes and trucks, and they even put stops at the tires so that the zombies, when they if as they push the blocks will slow them down too. And I'm like, man, this is such a good idea. Like this is fantastic. This is real world stuff, and I love it. It's fantastic, well made. 25 years making this plan. I'm like, they have thought of everything, any possible thing to slow down the infected herd. I love it. And by the way, Tommy is kind of like the Kid Harington. Like, I'm sorry, he's kind of like Jon Snow of The Last of Us, if you think about it. It's just kind of crazy. It's like, this is the wall, ice the zombies of the dead. Tommy's got his gun, his ammo, and he's gonna lead the charge. He's gonna, I guess, fire the first shot. He's gonna lead these people, and he even says Jackson a whole kind of like a thing. It reminded me very much of Game of Thrones. And then the zombies crash through. This is so much like Hard Home, which is Game of Thrones season 5, episode 8, I believe. And yeah, like they're lowering the barrels, and not that they were gonna explode right away or something, but yeah, they lowered the barrels in, and I knew they had oil, but then they start shooting the barrels here and there, and they start leaking, but they're not catching on fire. So I'm just kind of like, huh, that's interesting. But then Tommy, after firing a little bit, he takes a torch, and a bunch of them actually, and they start throwing the torches in the barrels, and they explode like crazy, which it was awesome. And I was kind of worried that the walls would catch on fire, but I guess it was far enough where, I mean, they're just mowing down these zombies. There are hundreds of zombies burning. They are firing like crazy. Tommy is like, he's getting like mega kills, all this stuff. So meanwhile, you have Joel, Abby, and Dina. They see the fire, they hear the explosion, and they see that Jacksonville is under attack. And Abby, I thought maybe she had a heart or something, but she mentions that she has people. They're really close to the lodge, and they have to go get her people. Like, they can maybe help. They can help them. And meanwhile, we have so many bullet casings. Tommy and the other soldiers up on the wall. They are fighting like crazy. They are killing, mowing down lots of zombies. It is insane. It is a massacre of zombies, and just tons of soldiers on the walls firing their guns, ammo, like just everything. And no matter what they're doing, it's not really making a dent. Tommy notices something, a bloater, shows up, and he starts going in different directions. So do a couple zombies. So Tommy is a little bit confused. I kind of realized this too. And he realized that they were being flanked, that the bloater was flanking one of them, and he warns everyone to get ready because they're trying to get through another side. The front door is too heavily defended, so they're gonna do a side wall. And Tommy tells everyone to get ready. They're on Main Street. It's the most open area. It's where everyone, like, people with guns in the windows, everyone's ready. They have a flamethrower squad, and I mean, it is just crazy, man. Like, it is fantastic, like so good. You even have guys in trucks, and they have guns. They're on the backs of the trucks, and they're just ready. Like, man, this is fantastic. Great planning. I mean, seriously, did Tommy come up with this plan? Oh, because good lord, like, this is a fantastic plan to deal with a herd. And Maria kind of looks at Tommy, and he looks back at her. I mean, like, it's a power couple kind of thing. These they stand no chance. Meanwhile, the bloater is breaking through the logs, which, good lord, man, like, how strong are bloaters? Like, that is insane, man. They are like tanks. Like, it's crazy, man. In the game, like, they are way stronger in the show than they were in the game. But meanwhile, you have tons of infected. They are getting through. They managed to get through the side, some of them, and everyone is just getting their guns ready in the main street. They are just ready, which is just so crazy. I'm like, man, how is this fight going to go? It's insane. You have tons of zombies coming in from the side into the main street, but they start mowing them down crazy. I mean, but there are so many. Despite the fact you have dozens of people with guns, it's just, what do you do when there's hundreds and hundreds of zombies and the bodies are piling up, man? Like, just, gosh, that's just so crazy. Like, it's like a never-ending horde. There's only dozens of soldiers and hundreds of zombies, and then we see that two people from Tommy's flamethrower squad, they up and ditch him, and it's like, you guys are so not invited to the next community Christmas party. Like, good lord, like, seriously. I mean, good lord, like, I didn't expect that. And then you have just so many zombies, and they break through the windows. They break through a few of the stores, and they mess up the bakery. And the bakery is one of the first places to go through. And then we see the women and children in one of the cellars, and they look up, and good lord, I got scared about this, because it turns out some of the zombies are in the door on the other side, and they start banking in. Now, fortunately, they do not get through. At least we don't see it. The children are scared, and I seriously was on the edge of my seat. I'm like, God, please don't let these people be murdered. Because this is tense. Like, this is crazy. The zombies are everywhere, and meanwhile, you have Maria, and she is just mowing down zombies, and the zombies start getting through the roofs. Like, no joke, they got into the buildings and they go around the roofs, and the zombies, a lot of them look like normal human beings, so it's got to be super confusing. I can't tell who's a person and who's a zombie. Like, it gets kind of hard to tell for some of the infected. But yeah, so Tommy is using the flamethrower, and the one guy who's sticking with Tommy got taken down pretty easily, and he actually accidentally sets fire to one of the buildings. He sets fire to the box next to him, which causes the building to burn, I assume. And then, tons of zombies. The zombies are getting mowed down, like, not too much of a problem, except for the people on the roof. One guy gets killed, just thrown off the roof by an infected. Both of them, which is just kind of crazy. Like, the roofs are compromised, and then the bloater, like, the zombies around the bloater are just getting killed, and he's just taking bullets. He's just taking them like he's a sponge or something. And Tommy tries to protect Maria, telling the zombie to come after bloater to come after him, and it's just honestly super crazy. And then Maria, it's crazy. She's going through this a strong black woman moment, because she decides to make a break for downstairs, because she is going to go do something. She has a plan. I thought she was going to go in the cellar, one of the cellars, to protect the women and children, but she does something else. And meanwhile, Tommy leads the bloater into one of the alleyways, into a trap kind of thing, but unfortunately it's kind of blocked off beforehand, to prevent the infected from getting in with people. So Tommy has a last stand with the bloater. He sets fire to the bloater, just burning it, and you think it's working, right? You think, like, oh yeah, this guy's toast. But no, the bloater is actually taking a lot of the fire. It hurts it, but it's not killing it. And it's like, are you kidding me? Like, good lord, this is a flamethrower. Tommy is using up all his flamethrower ammo, and you're telling me it is not killing him. The zombie, the bloater, was about to kill Tommy. Like, was so close. Tommy thought he was gonna die, and the bloater finally gets on his knees, super charred, and it's like, whew, good lord. Does anyone want some burned mushroom? Where's Daryl at? Maybe he wants a taste. But yeah, so Tommy is just shocked. He thought he was gonna die. I don't get why he didn't just shoot it, or like with his gun and then stab it or something. But yeah, meanwhile you have Maria. She's walking through the store, walking through the main street. Zombies, all that stuff is chaos, and she enters the kennel, and I heard the dogs barking, and oh my goodness, my heart jumped up. So she opens the first wave of dogs, 4 very cute, lovable, brave dogs, and they just go running out like super speed, and I'm like, oh my goodness, my heart jumped, because I saw these cute, adorable, brave dogs go out there, and I thought to myself, God in heaven, please do not let anything bad happen to these dogs. My heart will be broken. So Maria lets it out the second wave of dogs, and then she lets out the third wave. And all these dogs. So that's like what, 12 dogs that are trained to kill? Like, good lord, like all those, yeah. So, there's a lot less infected, but there's been a lot of casualties. I assume dozens. Tommy is shooting up the zombies. Man, he's got great aim and stuff. It's gotta be super hard to tell who's a zombie and who's a person, because like I said, they kind of look the same, a lot of them. But yeah, Tommy, they are almost getting overrun, and then Tommy turns around and we see the dogs coming out, and it's so good, because it's like they're wolves or something, which I just love. Like, by the way, if anyone is a dog expert or dog lover, like, what dogs are these? Because I thought I saw a few Rottweilers and German Shepherds, maybe even some mixed. So has there ever been, I gotta look this up, but are there mixes between German Shepherds and Rottweilers? So yeah, they're still infected. One of the buildings are burning down, and Tommy's one of the few last standing in the main street, and the dogs just come charging in to save him. I mean, who let the dogs out, right? I mean, Maria did. And man, I gotta give it to Maria, like saving the dogs for last, of the fight. It's like the Lord of the Rings Eagles moment, man. It's like the way the dogs destroy the infected. I was scared for the dogs because I'm like, good lord, if anything happens to the dogs, I'm going to rant. But these dogs they supernaturally attack these zombies, and I loved it, man. I love how they tore into the zombies. They just tackled them, just flat out destroyed. They were dominating these clickers, these infected. No bloaters, obviously. That's a little bit too much for them. But man, I gotta give it to HBO. I gotta give it to the writers for this scene. It was fantastic. It was well done. Having these cute, brave boys coming in to save the day. Mwah, love it. It is perfection. Dogs are man's best friend, and I love them so much. Oh my goodness, I would adopt one of these doggies if I could. I love dogs. And not to mention, we have one of them biting down. Man, like, this infected seriously looks like a normal human being. But like, man, just look at this dog. Like, I'm curious what breed it is. But yeah, when I saw this, I'm just like, oh, it's so cute. I love the dog, how it's tearing apart the infected person's throat. Such a cute doggy. Oh, who's a good vicious boy. I'm sorry. I gotta geek out over this scene. It is just fantastic. It is well done. I love dogs, and this was a very well done scene. HBO, you definitely deserve props for this. This was fantastic, well made. I mean, I don't know if you use real dogs or CGI. I have no idea, but you done a spectacular job with this scene. One of the best scenes I've ever seen in television. It's great. This battle was fantastic. I love it. And Tommy is so proud of his furry babies, like, so proud. So meanwhile, back at the lodge, you have Abby, you have Dina, and you have Joel, and they make it back. Abby's friends like Owen and them were calling for her. So they make it to the lodge, and it turns out Dina is kind of freezing a bit. So Owen warms up Abby, and Joel kind of looks into the town and all that stuff, and he tries to get on the radio, and talk to Tommy, all that stuff. Because it turns out Dina has a little frostbite on her hand, which is kind of crazy. Like, good lord, like that's insane. Like, frostbite is no joke. And Mel actually was pretty good in this scene, even though she's not as pretty as her game version. I thought, like, the actress, she was really good in this scene. So Joel is trying to talk to Tommy, to Jacksonville, all that stuff, and Ellie is. Sorry, not Ellie. Abby's pretty convinced that this is Joel. She even tells everyone, this is Joel. Like, she's like, this is Dina. And then she says, this is Joel. And then, oh my goodness, Nora must be like, oh crap, we're gonna do this again? We're gonna kill Joel again. And Mel's like, oh crap, I don't want to die again. Like, they're literally repeating history, because all of Abby's friends know they're gonna die again. Anyways, so they take Dina hostage. Manny does, which, good lord, Manny sucks in this universe too. Like, I mean, he was bad in the game universe, but good lord, this universe too. Like, what is his deal, man? What stick does he have up his rear end? Because good lord, man. So meanwhile, Abby is threatening Joel, and I love this line here. She's like, "Do we look like raiders?" Because Joel said you can take our stuff, and it's like, Abby, it's a zombie apocalypse 25 years in. Everyone looks like a raider. Everyone. A pregnant woman. A child. A guy with a skull on his head. a guy with face paint, a woman that looks like you. Like anyone could be a raider. Like it's kind of ridiculous. Like that's kind of a stupid question, Abby. Like, do we look like raiders? Like everyone could be a raider. I don't know. So, anyways, they're gonna put Dina to sleep because they are going to kill Joel. So yeah, they give Dina a sedative and put her to sleep. Honestly, they probably could have just made her watch season 7 and 8 of The Walking Dead. That probably would have done. That probably would have worked better. So yeah, Abby begins flirting with her father's killer and stroking Pedro Pascal's ego. Anyways, after that, she has her Scarlet Witch moment and is like, you took everything from me, with Joel being like, I don't even know who you are. And yeah, even though Joel did save her life, she's like, my life? I don't have a life. And it's like, yeah, you have a boyfriend, 3 friends who would do horrible things for you. You live in an incredibly nice community and you're only 24 years old. Yeah, you don't have a life. Yeah, sure, Abby. You really are a millennial. So anyway, Mel tourniquets him, all that stuff. And Abby begins having her villain monologue, which, part of me when I saw this was like, man, Joel, like, you could grab her neck and snap it if you wanted to. I don't know. I'm just saying. Abby even mentions that Joel killed her father when she was 19, which I like this change because that's how old she was when she killed Joel in the actual game. So she's 24 here. Because good Lord, you can't expect me to believe that in the game Abby was 19. Like, it was not believable. Also, she begins stroking his head, which good Lord, like I have to ask Abby, do you want to kill Joel or do you want to sleep with him? Because you need to be very clear on this. So then Abby sees golf clubs and she begins channeling her inner game Abby because, yeah, she begins swinging it at Joel and it is golf time and he's the ball. Game fans know exactly what I'm talking about. And meanwhile, you have Ellie who begins to hear the horribleness that is happening. And Abby, who is sick and tired of the golf club, actually it just broke, begins beating on Joel, which doesn't really make sense because you think she would break her fingers because she's kind of a frail woman. But regardless, she's doing it. Yeah, gonna have to fix those fingers later, I suppose. So Ellie comes across the cabin, she goes in, and yeah, she's kind of taking her time. She's hearing weird things. She knows Joel and Dina's horse is there, even though someone, is being murdered. She kind of is just being careful. And then she sees Abby beating the absolute snot out of Joel. She tries to aim her gun, but Manny stops her. And yeah, it is chaos because Abby has beaten Joel half to death. Not from her own strength. She shot him with a shotgun and hit him with a golf club until it broke, and then beat his head in with her fist as he's down. So yeah, it's not really out of any skill of herself. And meanwhile, you have Owen who stops Manny from killing Abby. Not Abby, Ellie after she cut him. And yeah, so the characters kind of are acknowledging what happened. Joel is incredibly injured. He can barely move. He is barely conscious. Ellie is screaming for Joel. And Owen, sick and tired, and Owen mentions to Abby that, yeah, the episode is almost done. We have like 5 minutes left before the episode ends. So finish it, Abby. Do what you were supposed to do. Do what we have been waiting for 5 years. You torturing us for 5 years. Just do it, because like literally, why are you wasting time? And then Abby takes the golf club piece that broke off, and yeah, she stabs Joel with it, which is a small change from the game, because in the game she actually beat him to death at the very end with the golf club. But I suppose it breaking off is a little more realistic. And Ellie screams, and I must admit, the distorted audio, the scream of Bella Ramsey's Abby, I'll admit, it was not bad in this scene. Also, I don't really know why Abby just walks off camera like that. It's kind of weird. I don't really understand that, but anyway, regardless. So yeah, after they murder Joel, they just take all their stuff and leave. Yeah, and then Ellie is crawling towards. This is kind of weird because Manny only kicked. Yeah, he did kick at Ellie hard in the chest when she was down, but that was it. It was just one kick. So I don't know why she's crawling to Joel. Kind of doesn't make sense. But yeah, it is a really sweet scene because unfortunately Joel is dead. It is too late. Abby has killed him, and she holds onto Joel's dead body, crying her eyes out. And I'll admit, Bella Ramsey, I know some people didn't like her acting in the scene, but I actually think it was well done. And yeah, we get by Ashley Johnson, Through the Valley, which is an amazing song. And yeah, so That's just honestly crazy. It happened. I also like in the episode how they didn't have Joel die and then the battle of the Jacksonville. Instead, they had the battle and then Joel's death. So that therefore, Joel's death doesn't take away from the battle, and the battle doesn't take away from Joel's death. It was well done. So far away, you see Jesse riding into the cabin. I like this. We know it's Jesse. It's not a shocker. We don't have to analyze it. And I like this. So back in the town, we see some random guy who, just got bit. And I guess they can't cut off his arm or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird. And then this other guy off screen, just shoots him in the head. And it's like, dang, that is brutal. And we see hundreds of dead bodies. Most of them are infected. And Tommy and the others recovering. One of the buildings burned down. Maria and Tommy hug each other because they survived this crazy day. And we see one of the dogs on the left munching on a zombie, which is super cute and super sweet. I'm so glad that on screen none of the dogs died of the 12 dogs that Maria set loose, because I would be absolutely furious. And then meanwhile, we have Ellie, Jesse, Dina. They are going with their horses through the snow. I don't know why Ellie's in front. Shouldn't she be behind Jesse? Isn't it more comfortable? I don't know. And they're dragging Joel's body. He's wrapped in a blanket. They're dragging him all the way back to Jacksonville. You see Jacksonville on fire in the background in front. And I'll admit, we never got to see this in the game, so this was good. And I knew the episode was going to end right here. We get a fantastic shot. We get an awesome song. And I mean, what an episode. This was fantastic. I was blown away. And then boom, the episode ends and that's it. Just no music. It's just cut, quiet, and it lets you sit there in silence. Good Lord, what can I say about this episode? It was amazing. Thank you, HBO, and The Last of Us, and Neil Druckmann, and the other writers who improved his crappy work from the game. Thank you so much. This was fantastic. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and until next time, this is Breaking Brian, and I will see you all next time, and I will be signing off. Take care, guys.